Hello and welcome back to the Wizards Arena. My name is Draymore, and today my fellow Planeswalkers will be continuing on with Commander 2021 exclusive cards for their decks. Today we have blue-green. Our first one is 3 blue X for an instant. Target player draws X card plus an additional card for each time they've cast their commander from the command zone this game. We've had X spells before that draw cards. This is just basically they have the equivalent of Blue Sun Zenith, except they get shuffled back. It's fine. Yeah, you might get to get another 2 or 3 cards out of the deal. It's just a 5. Nothing huge here. Moving on. Curiosity Crafter. 3, a blue, a flying bird wizard. That's a 3/3. You have no max hand size. Whenever a creature token you control deals damage, combat damage, to a player, draw a card. This is interesting. But because this isn't the normal thing that green and blue does, normally we do Simic stuff of like putting +1/+1 counters. There is the fractal token things, but it's just not a ton, I feel. Maybe if you did something like run this with in a deck where you're like making Thopter tokens and stuff as like the 4-color artifact commander. But it's really weird. I'll just give it a 5. Nothing horrid. Nothing great. Next up. Dakara, the Fractal Theorist. 4 and a blue for human wizard. It's a 3/3. Whenever you cast or copy, create a 0/0 green-blue fractal creature. Put X +1/+1s on it, where X is the MV. Okay, he makes dudes. And for 3 and a blue, what do? Make a token unblockable for turn. I guess, like most spell sling decks tend to have cheap spells, so you have like lots of small creatures, and spending this much to make one of them unblockable is not that great. So early on, this ability really doesn't matter. Late game, I'm not sure how relevant it will be. Again, he's like the previous 2 cards we've seen. He's a 5. Nothing jumps out. Next up, Isaac Fractal Bloom. 4, a green and a blue, flying 4/4 fractal creature. Oh baby. The first time you would create 1 or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than this guy and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. Well, this is definitely different than the last couple cards we looked at. This is interesting. And it lends itself to like running this is a commander or sticking it in white, green, blue for anointed possession and parallel lives and really doubling down on the tokens. Seems good. I'll give it a 7. It's interesting, but I just don't know. It's limited because they were smart and they said only once a turn. Next up, we have the Fractal Harness. X2 and a green artifact equipment enters the battlefield, make a fractal token and put X +1/+1 counters on it and attach the harness to it for free. Sweet. Whenever a equipped creature attacks, double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. equip of 2. So, like, I mean, I spend 3 and I swing. So I spend 6 total. And the next turn I swing in and I have a 6/6. And if he doesn't get destroyed, then the next turn it's a 12/12. Then a 24/24. Like, it's okay compared to some of the other equipment we've seen that's monocolored. This is the weakest. So we're going to give it a 3 because we've seen 3 equipments. This is by far at the bottom. Next up, the Geometric Nexus. Okay, and looks sweet as heck. That's just bam. 2 colors for an artifact. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, put a number of charge counters on it equal to the MV. Okay, sweet. What do? 6 and tap this. Remove all the counters and make a fractal token and put X +1/+1 charge counters on it, where X is all the counters removed. I wanna like this, but that's a lot of mana to get the creature made. And you can't choose to leave any number behind. It's, again, very reminiscent of this deck being just a 5. Like, not great. Next up, the Guardian Augmentor. 2 and a green for Troll Wizard. Flash. Commanders you control get +2/+2 and have hexproof. Okay. Only problem with him is I would have rather paid 1 or 2 more and him also have the hexproofs, because they just kill him and then they'll kill your commander later. Or if you're really far out ahead, one guy kills this guy and then one guy kills your commander. So this guy, he's like a 4. Like, the abilities are cool, but next up, what do we got? Oversimplify. 3, a green, and a blue. Sorcery. Exile all creatures. Each player creates a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token and puts a number of +1/+1 counters equal to the total power of creatures that were exiled. So basically, I blow up everybody's board and everybody gets one big dumb thing. This is cool because green-blue combined really don't have a wrath effect. So this is just neat there. Is it the most ridiculous wrath effect I've ever seen? No. But I'll give it +1 to what I would normally probably give it. Like, I would probably give this like a 5 or a 6. And I'll give it an extra 1 because green-blue just doesn't have anything. So, 5, 6. We'll make it a solid 6. Next up, the Paradox Zone. Sounds sweet. Let's see what it does. 4 and a green for an enchantment. Comes into play and you put a growth counter on it. At the beginning of your end step, double the number of growth counters on it and make a fractal token and then put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is number on the zone. Okay. So I cast this on turn 4 or 5 and I get a 2/2. And then the next turn I get a 4/4. Like, it's gotta stay out there for like 4 or 5 turns for me to really get value out of this. So, yeah, this is just not that good. I'm gonna spend 5 mana, I'll cast like Exorcism, and give all my creatures Shroud, and spend mana to regenerate them. instead of play this dumb thing or play double in season or something. This is just not that impressive for that much mana investment. Next up, we got a perplexing test. 3 and 2 blue. Return all creature tokens to their owner's hands. Return all non-token creatures to their owner's hands. Okay. I like this a little more because you can bounce all the tokens in a traditional blue deck. Normally you don't have tokens. And there's lots of token strategies running around. And even if you decide to make it different and make it with the tokens, you can just bounce your opponent's non-token creatures back to the hand. It's a fair amount of mana. It's an instant speed thing. So yeah, I'll give it a 6. Sounds cool. Replication technique. 4 in the blue, demonstrate. Create a token that's a copy of target permanent you control. Okay. The demonstrate on this is really good, I feel, because you can give it to somebody that really doesn't have much going on their board. Like, oh, he has like, like a Soul Ring and a bunch of lands and not doing anything. So he makes another Soul Ring, or he's got a few mana dorks out and he's just not doing much, and you get to really double down on whatever you're doing, the theme of your deck. Sounds sweet. Up next is Rook's the Patient Professor. 2 and 2 green for 4/4 Bear Druid. He enters the battlefield or attacks. Return target creature card with no abilities from your yard to your hand. Creatures you control with no abilities get +1/+1. You may have creatures you control with no abilities assign their combat damage as if they weren't blocked. Why? Like, he's funny and he's like nifty. This is their 3rd or 4th try to push a non-ability deck, but they're just so far behind. Like, for ha-has, this is an 8, but it's really a 3, if not a 2. These guys are just so far behind the curve. They need so much more to even be a believable deck. Next up, the Sequence Engine. 2 in green. X and tap it. Exile target creature card with MV. X from a graveyard. Create a fractal token. Put X +1/+1 counters on. Activate only as a sorcery. Why a sorcery? Yeah, I get to make fractal tokens to go with my bear dude, and they don't have an ability, so the bear dude gives them all +1/+1. Like, I'm not impressed with this guy. Like, again, it's a 3. The Spawning Kraken. 5 in a blue for 6/6 Kraken. Whenever a Kraken, Leviathan, Octopus, or Serpent you control deals combat damage to a player, make a 9/9 blue Kraken creature token. I like this. He seems to be better than some of the other Krakens and Serpents and Leviathans we have. But, like, none of those creatures really have trample or evasion to speak of. So they just get chump blocked, and because your opponent will be like, oh, if I take the damage, I'm going to want you to make more. And if you're playing the green-blue, like 12/12 land dude that's legendary, you can run in there parallel lives and stuff, so you potentially get 2 or 3 of them. So this guy's just not really that good. He's like a 3. Next up, Theoretical Duplication. 2 in a blue. Instant. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control this turn, you also create a token as a copy of that creature. Oh my god. Well, there's the best card in the deck. Like, hands down. This is amazing. Like, I see this being the money card in this deck. It's a 9. It's so good because you can do it when they have something on the stack and response. There's some commanders you copy that are outside your color segments that just like make your guy do even more craziness. There's just so much potentiality for this card. I really like it. You know, there's not much more to say. My name's been Dramer with the Wizards Arena. Please like, share, and subscribe. And comment below. I'll see you tomorrow for Deck 4, which will be the black and white one. Have yourselves a great day.